work and dedicated some of you a second job of supporting the Caro Center and supporting mental health in Michigan. As we begin our rally this morning, I'd like to ask each of us to bow our heads, and we'll begin with a word of prayer. Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we are thankful that you have given us the right to live in this great country. Lord, we're thankful that among the liberties that we have is the right to peaceably assemble and to talk to the government and to redress our grievances, but as well to begin to let those in authority know what we desire. Lord, it is not that way in every country. Lord, we also realize that we have an imperative from you that we take those people who have no voice and we give them a voice. Your word says that we should be rewarded as we have done to the people who have no voice and who are the least among us. And Lord, that's what this rally is about, giving care to those who need care. Lord, I pray that you give us the ability to make our voices heard. And Lord, I pray that those individuals making the decision would hear our voice and would likewise have their decisions bent to what we believe is correct. We ask these things in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Obviously, as many of you came here from Caro, from Tuscola County, you understand that the roads are being fixed, and I-69 is under construction. And we are eagerly waiting for the arrival of the band from the Caro schools, and they will be hopefully be gracing us with their songs after the rally. I would like to recognize several people that made that happen. First is the Caro Community High School band director, Drew Miller, and then as well Peter Newman, the school superintendent, for their work in bringing the band here, even though school just started yesterday. Joining me on the podium today are some of our county commissioners from Tuscola County, Mark Jansen and Kim Vaughn.
Yeah.
Our brand new county administrator and controller in her office, Clayette Zeckmeister. The Caro City manager, Michael Silverman.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to talk to him, you will learn that he's from North Carolina. Caro Psychiatric Hospital nurse, the originator of Rebuild the Caro Center and Caro Facebook page, Miss Ramey Berlin. She works a second job as administrator of that Facebook page that she does not get paid for. She's done a great job. I'd like to acknowledge several people who have come before us. This battle is not new to Caro. This battle has been raging for years and years and years. And in the mid-1990s, my dad, at that time, Representative Mike Green, battled to keep the Caro Center open. And between him and Representative Canfield, they were able to secure $115 million to rebuild the Caro Center and to help out the struggling psychiatric care that our state is providing. I'd like to recognize my dad, Senator Mike Green. I'd like to also have you recognize back behind the state tree, the large tree right back there, is the SS Ramey. That is the float that has been in almost every parade in Tuscola County, and that is Come Sail. The jump on board and keep the Caro Center afloat, and that's the Volmering family. Thank you. Today's rally is to highlight the need to maintain care in Caro and to expand access to the state inpatient psychiatric services. For 105 years, the community of Caro has provided excellent care to those people who have really nowhere else to turn. And for 105 years, our community has been enraptured with the ability to care for those types of patients. What we ask is that the state build a new facility. Many of you who work there, those of you who live there and drive down Chambers Road, understand the disrepair that the buildings have been in and are continue to be in. And we are asking for the state to build a new facility to replace the aging facility currently in place. I believe many of those buildings were built in the 1950s, back when Happy Days was that style there. And we need to upgrade our care for those with mental health issues. The rally is also to recognize the devotion of the staff, such as Mrs. Berlin, and the community to provide care to individuals experiencing severe, persistent mental illness with compassion and professionalism. Now I'm going to turn the podium over to one of my mentors, one of my people that have taken me under their wing as I began my new position in the State House. She is my chair of the subcommittee appropriations for the DHHS budget. She has been an unwavering advocate for mental health. She is the co-chair of the 2017-2018 CARES Task Force, and she has just been a wonderful friend. The Honorable Mary Whiteford, State Representative from the 80th House District.
Thank you, Phil. So I was a member of the CARES Task Force, but I'm a registered nurse. I came to Lansing because I care about people, and I'm very passionate about helping them. I was honored to be selected as a member of the CARES Task Force, along with my colleague and the co-chair of the task force, Representative Hank Papel. With his leadership, we really accomplished a lot for the people of Michigan. During the task force's statewide tour, I heard from experts and stakeholders about Michigan's desperate need for psychiatric beds. Research consistently shows that Michigan is one of the nation's 5 worst states when it comes to per capita state-operated psychiatric hospital beds. It is tragic that individuals experiencing the most severe mental illness in our state often cycle into difficulty, including the justice system, incarceration in our prisons, which is so much cheaper than our state psych hospitals, and it's so harmful to people. It's just not the Christian way to do this. And they end up in emergency rooms, they're homeless, and they die early. The legislature moved quickly to act upon the task force recommendations. A bill I sponsored last legislative term and was signed into law. It establishes a statewide psychiatric bed registry to help us determine the best places to invest our resources needed to help our citizens. We expanded the use of telemedicine, and I was so pleased to hear that the first state telepsychiatry pilot was launched at the Caro Center. Last summer, I attended the groundbreaking for the new Caro Center, and I marveled at how peaceful and healing that environment was. I look forward to the opening of the new 200-bed state psychiatric facility there, just to replace that aging facility. You can imagine my concern when construction of the new hospital was halted after $4 million was invested. It is important for us to recognize that the residents of our state are crying out for help. As chair of the House Appropriations Subcommittee on DHHS, I know as well as anyone else, there's no simple solution to our mental health crisis, but I firmly believe that building a new state psychiatric hospital at Caro is one piece of this solution. I urge the administration to move forward as planned with the new hospital at Caro and to work with the legislature to expand rather than decrease access for care for individuals experiencing mental illness across our state. Now I'm going to turn the podium over to my colleague and friend, State Representative John Hoadley, as well as my previous colleague and the previous chair of the committee, who is also my friend, Ned Canfield. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm just proud to be standing here today and proud of all the people from Caro, Tuscola County, and the surrounding areas and the stakeholders that have stood firmly with us. Twice we have convinced the administration that the presence of a psychiatric facility at Caro is vital to our state to care for the people with needs of mental health issues. Those issues have not changed, and those facilities are a year older, and we need to replace them. DTMB, the department have testified to the committees that these buildings are not repairable to bring up to be safe for patients, to be safe for staff, or to continue to improve the mental health needs of patients of our community. We need a new hospital facility. The legislature and the former governor have indicated what we should have in Caro, a 200-bed facility. Again, the director has indicated he agrees that we need to have a facility in Caro. However, his recommendations fall significantly short of those recommendations that were made. But we're a year behind. We need to get those shovels in the ground, get a new building built. This hospital was a response to much debate, much discussion before, and it has been again, and it needs to continue. It's incumbent upon the governor and our legislature to now make decisions about what we're going to do. And we believe that the right decisions will be made, and we can make exceptions if we have to. But we need to make sure that it is safe for our patients, safe for the people who work there, will attract the talent that we need to work there, and will do the things that we need in the state of Michigan. So at this point, I'm going to turn the podium over to my good friend, Representative Hoadley, and I appreciate so much him being here as well. Representative Hoadley.
Thank you, Doc. You're here today because you're participating in an act of hope. You know that your voices, your participation, your presence represents the hundreds and thousands of lives that have moved through Caro, the families that are seeking support for the mental health services that they need for their loved ones or themselves. Representative Whiteford, Representative Canfield, Representative Green, the stories have all been clear. We face a mental health crisis. This is a question, not if this will be enough. We know that even building the Caro facility will not be enough. We need to expand and be investing in mental health services all across the state, whether they're in Caro or in my backyard in Kalamazoo. But we're here today not out of fear, but out of hope. That when people come together, that we can change the course of our state, that when people come together, that we can build structures and institutions and community that are bigger than any one of us alone. We are here today as an act of hope and faith that tomorrow can be better than today. Your voices are being heard. Your voices need to continue to be heard. Know that you have allies and champions who recognize that the work that folks are doing in Caro, that the work that people are doing in the community, that the families that are individuals receiving help, that they are being supported by folks here in Lansing. And I have great faith, not fear, that at the end of this, we'll get to a solution that helps move us forward one step closer to finally solving the mental health crisis here in Michigan and our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we would like to turn the podium over to Todd Tennis, who has a message to share from Evan Arldice with IBEW.
Thank you. I'm here on behalf of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Evan Allardyce is the business manager of Saginaw Local 557, and he wishes he could have been here today to deliver this himself. Unfortunately, the conference leadership is all at a meeting out of state today, so Evan asked me to share this with the group. Today's issue is about jobs. Jobs for a community that is hurting for jobs. Jobs for a community that just made a major investment in their school system to provide for the education of the next generation, who is just walking in right now, it looks like. The jobs for construction workers, like those represented not only by the IBEW, but by the rest of the building trades and other organizations in the Michigan thumb area of our great state. We all want one common thing: to go to work. As a union construction leader, I know a great deal about construction and how it works. We know that renovating a building with pre-existing issues does not equate to the best option. But building a new facility with a $115 million budget is not only the right thing for providing jobs in the construction and healthcare field, but most importantly, it's the best option for the patients who will be housed there. Michigan is in dire need of more mental health services, and fulfilling the commitment to Caro is a win-win situation that will benefit Michiganders that need mental health treatment, and also the hardworking men and women who will make the facility a reality. Governor Whitmer, please keep the promise and keep the planned Caro Center as it was when ground was broken. And now I would like to introduce one of our law enforcement members of the coalition, Sheriff Scrant from Tuscola.
First of all, thank you everybody for being here. It's hard to get out while everybody has jobs. And I think when you stand here, you send a message to the powers to be that there is life east of I-75, and that we should be
Exactly.
with everybody in the state of Michigan. And I'm here today not only representing the Tuscola County Sheriff's Department, but I'm also representing every sheriff's office in Michigan, which there are 83. All 83 sheriffs in Michigan belong to the Michigan Sheriff's Association. The executive director is Blaine Coops, and the Michigan Sheriff's Association has been behind this agenda since the very beginning. They're in full support of the Caro Center, and I think that's a huge issue because we with jails realize the need for patient care. They don't belong in jails. They belong in facilities that can work with them and heal them. Also, another side of the coin is the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. With me today is Chief Robert Stevenson, who is the Executive Director. They are also in full support of the Caro Center, and that's another huge issue. As law enforcement leaders joining us here today, we know that it's about safety, public safety, safety of the individuals in need of care, and safety for the individuals providing the care. Further, we have heard promises of an accessible community-based system of care before, but the fact remains that many individuals experiencing mental illness are instead found in local jails, emergency rooms, and homeless shelters. And I will end on that point and introduce the next speaker, Senator Kevin Daly, who has been an adamant person in charge of this and a great friend.
Thank you, Sheriff. I have to pull the microphone down because I'm a little shorter than you are. Thank you, first off, to everyone out here for coming today. It's great to have a good turnout like this. It's great to recognize the fact that we want to keep this facility in Caro. We want to keep the promise. We want to follow in the footsteps of what our predecessors, myself and Representative Green, what our predecessors and Senator Green and Senator Canfield got accomplished 2 years ago, and it's happened over the time. We need to fix this problem, finish this job, and get the facility built, a new facility in Caro, and that's what our goal is. Today we've got to mention a few people that haven't been mentioned yet. Madison Clements is here from the Bay Area Saginaw County Chamber. Is she up here? There she is. There's Madison. William Burleson from MEA is up here. Thank you for coming today. This is an interesting fight we've got going because it's bringing both sides together. You know, this isn't a partisan thing. This is both sides of the aisle are working together to do this facility. Robert Stevenson, the Executive Director of the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police, has already been introduced. We have Steve Erickson, Executive Director of Tuscola County Economic Development.
Let's go, Steve.
And then we also have board members Debbie Powell and Keith Bauer here as well. Gene Pierce, Tuscola County ISD Superintendent. Gene up here. Gene is in the audience out there. Wave your hand, Gene. There we go. Gene is the ISD Superintendent, from Tuscola County. A few people in the audience. We've got President of Michigan Farm Bureau, Mr. Benarski, Carl Benarski, standing out here. Thank you for coming and supporting us today, Carl. Also a resident of Tuscola County as well. We have several teachers from the Tuscola County Intermediate School District in the audience. Thank you for all coming today. Why don't you raise your hands if you're a teacher, the ISD. Thank you for coming. As all of you know, the hospital is so important to our community. We are grateful that the governor has recognized the need for the Caro Center to stay open. However, we urge her to build the new facility for the safety of the patients, employees, and the community.
Yeah.
We haven't got an official recommendation from the governor as of yet. We've been told that would be available to us around Labor Day, so that's coming up. Hopefully we'll hear something soon. And maybe when she sees what we've presented here today, maybe that can help her out a little bit. We'll continue to fight for our community and for the colleagues here in Lansing as we do the budget negotiations. We continue on for that fight to keep the Caro Center there. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Build new, maintain, and expand care, and stay Caro strong. Now we'd like to ask everyone to stand or pick up your signs, turn around and stand for a picture. Apparently the picture is going to be taken from, is that what we're asking?